So I was talking with my good friend Andres Perez, aka Kaiju Noir, and we were talking, and we kind of talked about what kind of comics we'd like to see come out of IDW, since they're doing so well with so many titles. And I brought up the idea of Primal Rage, and we didn't really go further to that, but he thought it was really cool, and I thought it was really cool. So here's my idea of what I would do with like a Primal Rage comic. If I could work at IDW and do any title, like they're looking for new stuff to license, I would just say right up, hey, let me do a Primal Rage comic. For those who don't know, I loved Primal Rage as a kid growing up. That was one of actually my first video games I ever played as a kid. That was actually one of my first, if not the first, video game I ever played. And it kind of that was also the help that got me into liking kaiju stuff. Because obviously, even though they're dinosaurs, a lot of them are kind of like kaiju in a way. But yeah. So here's what I would like to do if I could ever do a Primal Rage comic book series. So I would take the story of, for the story is that an apocalypse happened, a meteor crashed on Earth, and what had happened was that it more or less destroyed the Earth. It just wiped the Earth clean. However, what proceeded to happen was that it awoke it woke up these monsters that are kind of considered gods in a way. And these monsters were worshipped as gods, and they were treated as such, and 4 of them were good, 3 of them were evil. And the four good monsters, Armadon, Blizzard, Sauron, and Talon, were the virtuous beasts. And they protected Earth, what was left of the Earth, that was how it's pronounced, kind of, this new Earth, from the destructive beasts, Chaos, Diablo, and Vertigo. So what I'd like to do is really play into something like... Actually, when I reread Godzilla Cataclysm, I was like, oh my god, this is Primal Rage. Yeah, I didn't realize it, but yeah, after I recently reread Godzilla Cataclysm, and I thought to myself, oh my god, this is how you do a Primal Rage comic. Yeah, so I'd like to have it that, the Cataclysm happened, and now these 7 monsters are roaming around trying to kill each other, while even though I would have it that the virtuous beasts, even though they're all on the side of good, they don't exactly like each other, and each have their own little ideals as to how to deal with certain situations. And I would like to have a lot of focus on Sauron. Sauron is the god of hunger, who is kind of like the anti-hero, and he was never really accepted into the other virtuous beasts. He's more or less, he kills, but he needs to feed to expand his longevity. So, I would like to have a lot of focus on Sauron more than the other ones, but I would like to have a lot of focus on, Blizzard and Talon and Armadon. All of them have their own reasons for protecting the Earth, but they each have their own different reasons, and their reasons kind of conflict with one another. Now, for the 3 destructive beasts, Chaos, Diablo, and Vertigo, I would have it that these monsters also have their own reasons for destroying the Earth, and each one, even though they want to destroy the Earth and make it, they have their own ideas as to how they want to destroy Earth. With Diablo, he wants to turn Earth into a new hell. Chaos just wants, just chaos. And Vertigo wants to make this new, make what's left of the Earth into a world of pure insanity and without free will. Another thing I would like to do with this series is I'd really like to bring in new monsters. I mean, seriously, you can only write a comic with only 7 main characters for so long. You can only do that for so long without needing to introduce new characters. And I'd like to introduce new monsters into the universe, like maybe a giant pterodactyl-like creature, or giant stegosaurus, or even a giant squid or something more aquatic. We never really got an aquatic type monster, so maybe like a kaiju like plesiosaur, mosasaur type creature, something of that creation would be a lot of fun to do with this series. I would even like to have that maybe they're focus on the humans, who a lot of them are like, well, we worship the gods, but even have some in there who are like, no, the gods are just monsters that they just need that's all they are. They are just monsters and need to be treated as such, and they need to be quelled or destroyed or something of that they need to be controlled or contained or annihilated. And even have some humans that remember what happened after the cataclysm, and not like Stone Age-like creatures, but are trying to preserve the old ways. But anyway, among other things, I would like to have it that, I would like to have that Diablo is the most sinister... well, actually, no, Vertigo would be the most sinister of the destructive beasts, since she wants to... she's the goddess of insanity, and she was actually kind of responsible for causing the destruction of the destruction of Earth in the first place. So I would have it that Vertigo is the one that's trying to manipulate everyone into fighting each other, while her plans... Because you have to understand that these monsters are actually very intelligent. These virtuous beasts and destructive beasts are actually have a lot of intelligence to them, and while they don't talk, they have their own plans. They have their own ideas in the making to wipe out humanity or save humanity, or or even protect the Earth and try to replenish it. There is another thing, like some monsters just want to replenish the Earth and rebuild it, whereas others are just in it for the chaos and for the fun of it. And yes, I would write a scene of chaos, because if anyone remembers Primal Rage, if anyone remembers the Primal Rage game, yes, I would so have Chaos's golden shower fatality, which is, where he pisses acid on his opponent and rots them away in seconds. So yeah, I would have the golden shower attack in there. Like him just, like, he knocks down Armadon or another monster, and he just lets loose. Yeah. But yeah, what else? But yeah, like I said, another major thing is introduce new gods, and how these new gods would interact with these new old gods and have their own effect. Like, yeah, these 7 monsters have been kind of used to the idea of just the 7 of them, but now these new gods are showing up, and now people are starting to question if they should and new tribes are worshiping them. And should the old tribes, some of their people who worship them, should they just be like, well, these gods look a lot more powerful than the ones we've been worshiping. Let's go worship that one. So anyway, so you guys tell me, what do you guys think of these ideas for a Primal Rage comic? And if so, what would you do if you could write a Primal Rage comic? Really interested to see what you guys come up with for this one. Once again, I don't really think I've talked about Primal Rage on my channel, which is, well, shame on me. Yeah, shame on me for not talking about Primal Rage on this channel more often. It was, like I said, one of my first games, if not the first video game I ever played as a kid growing up. So yeah, once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.